Prosecutors claiming a gun was found in Rugg's vehicle. He did not make a plea today. He could face as much as 20 years in prison.
Josh Brent, Leonard Little, and Donte Stallworth are previous NFL players who have been involved in car accidents that have claimed lives in the past. Recently, Henry Ruggs became the fourth NFL player in the last 25 years to be involved in a driving under the influence accident that claimed a life. The accident, which claimed the life of a woman named Tina O Tintor, is the biggest off-field incident in the NFL in recent weeks. Already, the consequences of the incident have come in thick and fast for the 22-year-old wide receiver, thus making his fans apprehensive about the possibilities of him making a return to the field, especially after the Las Vegas Raiders released him from their roster. However, before we go deep into it, ensure you leave a like on this video if you're a fan of Henry Ruggs. Also, if you would like to join this month's giveaway of a brand new iPhone 13, then all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and watch this video until the end to find and comment on the hidden message. Good luck! Ruggs is one of the fastest NFL players after posting one of the fastest 40-yard dashes, with a 4.28 second speed in the NFL Scouting Combine in February 2020. While reporting this feat, Bleacher Report titled their report on the event on February 28, 2020, "Is Henry Ruggs too fast for his own good?" Looking back, it does look like a prophecy shrouded in mystery. On Tuesday the 2nd of November, Ruggs, while driving at a speed of 156 miles per hour and under the influence of alcohol, killed a woman named Tina O Tintor and her dog when his car smashed into another. The late Tina O Tintor was in her Toyota RAV4 when Ruggs' Chevrolet Camaro smashed into it, causing the former to burst into flames. The 22-year-old was later discovered to have a blood alcohol level twice the legal before the crash happened. His girlfriend Rudy Washington was reported to have sustained an arm injury, while the 22-year-old wide receiver appeared in court on Wednesday with a foam neck brace and a reported leg injury. If the events of any of the trio, Josh Brent, Leonard Little, and Donte Stallworth, are anything to go by, they suggest that we may see Ruggs back on the field sooner than expected. However, rather unfortunately, Ruggs' situation may be too complicated for a road back into the NFL, especially with the speed he was released by the Las Vegas Raiders. Reports indicated that Ruggs didn't cooperate with police and the medical team after the crash. Not that this would do more damage to any sort of leniency that he should have enjoyed, but because it may lead to a rearrest and return to prison. His appearance in court saw his bail placed at $150,000, although it could have been as high as $1 million as requested by the prosecutor Eric Bowman. This is in addition to tight conditions meted on him, including surrendering his passport, driving ban, alcohol ban, electronic monitoring, and confinement. Ruggs met his bail terms, but it is not yet a clear path to the freedom for the charges he is facing. His charges of 2 counts of reckless driving and DUI causing death or substantial bodily injury could land Ruggs between 2 to 40 years in prison if he is convicted, while Nevada doesn't give probation. Sadly, and to make matters worse, he could also face a weapons charge after police found a gun in the car after the crash. This could lead to a 6-year term if Ruggs is convicted for illegal possession of the firearm. In total, if he is convicted for all charges laid before him, Ruggs could be facing at least 46 years in prison. Sadly, Ruggs showed a lot of promise and potential since 2017 when, as a freshman, he won the NCAA championship with Crimson Tide. He then went to be the 12th overall in the 2020 NFL Draft, posting impressive performances. He had 26 catches, 452 yards, and 2 touchdowns as a rookie last year, and 24 catches, 469 yards, and 2 touchdowns this year. All these may come to an unexpected and premature end, scuttling a career that was on a speedy track to greatness and legendary status. While he is due in court on Wednesday, November the 10th, the outcome of that sitting can only be unveiled by time. The NFL have been lenient with previous similar incidents that involved active NFL players who managed to stage a return after serving reduced charges and punishment. Nevertheless, 2 out of the 3 players involved failed to return to their best or record a successful career afterwards. The most recent DUI accident leading to death, which involved an active NFL player, happened in 2012 with former Dallas Cowboys defensive tackle Josh Brent. 2 years later, he was convicted of involuntary manslaughter of his Dallas teammate Jerry Brown, who was in the car with him when the crash happened. It was not until 2 years later that he was convicted, and although he was facing at least 20 years in prison, Brent was only hit with 180 days in jail and was under probation for 10 years. 12 years ago, Cleveland Browns wide receiver Donte Stallworth was also involved in a DUI and faced the likelihood of spending 15 years in prison, but got hit with a 30-day sentence, serving just 24 days. Furthermore, he was under probation for 8 years, 1,000 hours of community service, although he was allowed to play and resume his football career despite a 2-year house arrest. Despite both players avoiding long jail terms, in fact, none of the previous NFL players involved in a similar incident served lengthy jail terms, neither was able to return their NFL career back on track. Stallworth returned to the NFL in 2010, only to effectively retire in 2 years after a scanty number of games. Josh Brent spent even a shorter time in the NFL, spending just 1 year in the NFL after the incident in 2015. Therefore, if there is optimism about Ruggs avoiding a long jail term from the charges he is facing in court, it most likely will not be in favor of having a successful career afterwards. History, as we have discovered, does not favor a successful long career for an NFL player after a DUI incident. Hence, Henry Ruggs may potentially avoid a long jail term, but what he may not be able to avoid is an abrupt end to a career that rose as fast as he races, only to end like an overspeeding car that crashed into an immovable object. He will be remembered for his 4.28-second 40-yard dash in 2020 at the NFL Scouting Combine, his numbers as a rookie in the NFL, and his speed, but what he may not be remembered for is his long successful career aftermath of this incident. There's a long way to physical recovery, especially with possible leg fractures and neck injuries, but having been released by the Las Vegas Raiders, getting a franchise to take the gamble will take time. A return to any NFL franchise may attract an NFL disciplinary action, which may further keep him away from the action. There aren't any assurances that he will return to his physical best after recovery, and these, among others, are just a few of the many things that suggest that Henry Ruggs' NFL career may be reached to an abrupt end. Just like the people at B&R said, maybe Henry Ruggs was too fast on that occasion. And with that, we bring an end to today's video. So what are your thoughts on Henry Ruggs? Do you think he can bounce back from the implications of this incident? Do you agree that his career has ended? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit that notification bell to ensure you don't miss our next video and other videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep safe.